Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Git, seeing some common commands that we use every day with Git, and basically see how it's useful and go over a live demo on how Git works. So let's give a quick discussion about Git. So what is Git? Git's basically a version control systems that let you back up your projects. For example, when we created a project last time, we created this, but imagine this file is now gone. So when it's gone, we basically lose our project. Or instead of it like we accidentally deleting it, for example, if we have another developer that wants to work on our project, let's say the project's gonna go on a really big scale. So what we're gonna need is more people. Let's say we have 2 or 3 more people that wants to add new features to our application. So with Git, it makes it really easy and really clean for other devs to kind of come and then add different features to our existing project. So it's useful in that way, and it basically shows you like different commits that you make, like chronologically in order, so you can see who did what at what time. So it's really useful in that. So there are some Git hosting platforms out there, some popular ones like GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab. So now I'm just going to show you how to create a new repository. Like for example, let's say we want to add this NASA APOD file project into Git. Right now it's just a project, right, without like any Git. Okay, so now on GitHub, what we can do is we can create a new repository. So my repository name, I'm just gonna call it NASA APOD. All right, and then my description, I'm just gonna call it NASA APOD demo. All right, and then we're not gonna add a README yet. Public visibility, you can make your repository private so only you can see it, or you can share with specific people. But for this demo, we're just gonna make it public. We're not gonna add a git ignore or a license yet. So now we're gonna create a repository. I mean, you can also do this in Bitbucket or GitLab, or there's more Git hosting sites out there. So but GitHub's a really popular one. So here GitHub shows you a couple of options. Also, I wanted to mention that there's a few popular GUI to work with Git. So also SourceTree is a popular GUI tool to work with Git. I also have an older version of Tower, also pretty good to work with Git. So now let's go back to trying to put our NASA APOD into our GitHub repository. Alright, so to start that, I'm just gonna drag my project onto my terminal. So the terminal is just gonna open the directory that I'm working on. So let's go back here. So in GitHub, it gives us a couple of advice. So if you've done this kind of thing before, you can do that, or create a new repository in the command line, or push an existing repository from the command line. So since our NASA APOD project is a non-version, it hasn't been initialized with Git yet. So we're gonna go ahead and do that by doing by following this here. So we're gonna do git init, initialize in the Git repository. Okay. So now we're gonna do, since okay, we don't have to add the README because some of the projects are already there. So I'm just gonna say git commit, or instead of git add README, which is the file that, okay. So what this one does is it creates a new README with this hashtag NASA APOD. And then it wants you to initialize the file, and it wants you to add that README, which is basically gonna stage it. But since we already have some file in here, like for example, if I do ls, there's already some files in here, so we're just gonna do git add dot, which basically adds all the files that exist in this NASA APOD repository. So now instead of so that's why we skip these 2 steps, and now we're just gonna say git commit m first commit. All right, so these so it basically committed all of the files that we haven't done, which is basically all the file into the local repository on Git. So now nothing's been pushed yet. So now our repository is still empty until we do the actual push. But now we need to tell the origin on where to push it to. So now we're gonna say git remote add origin https ://github.com/iffy the perfect 1983 /NASA _apod.git. So this line is basically telling Git that our NASA apod when we make some changes, we're gonna do it to this URL here, which is hosted by GitHub, github.com/my username/ a repository. All right, so from now we can do git push u origin main. So what this does is it actually, okay, so now it wants my username. All right, and my password, which is I'm not sure what's my password. Is that my password? Nope. Let's try again. Git push username and my password. Oh, all right. I'll be back. I'm gonna re-look for the password and then let's do it again. All right, I'm back. Hopefully this will be the right password this time. So again, we'll do git push u origin master. Oh, not master, sorry, main. Git push u origin main. Muscle memory. Okay, and username. Now password. All right. Oh, authentication failed. Invalid username or token. Password authentication is not supported for Git authentication. Authentication failed. Alright, give me a second. Alright, so I googled this and basically it showed that GitHub no longer accepts account password for Git operations. So they've moved towards the personal access token or SSH authentication. So this is a recommended fix that they have. So generate a personal access token on GitHub. So on that, we're just gonna follow these steps. So we're gonna go to github.com, settings, developer settings, personal access token, and tokens. Okay, so github.com, settings over here. There we go. Here, settings. Let's say developer settings and personal access token. Let's see if it told us if it's token or fine grained tokens. Choose generate new token classic. All right, so we went for classic, and then we're going to do descriptive name, select the repo scope checkbox. All right, let's see. Generate new token classic. Okay. Alright, let's do that. Security key. Says select repo. Alright, so we can do these things. Let's see if I want to check off any of these other things. Do we allow it to write packages, workflow? download packages from GitHub registry, delete packages, delete repository. You know, I wonder if we can do this later, but for this, access to commit, deploy, public repository, access to read and write security events. You know what? Upload packages to GitHub package registry, download packages from GitHub package registry, update GitHub action workflows. Let's check a couple more of these things. Alright, let's just generate a token and let's get on with the Git demo. Oh no, what did it say for no? Right laptop Git, sure, that's not very descriptive, but sure, laptop Git. Alright, so it's gonna expire all, let's do this for a little bit longer. Let's do this for 90 days. October 18, 2026. Generate our token. Okay, copy this token. And then run the following command in your terminal. Replace your token here with the token you just copied. I don't see the your token here though, but okay, sure. Git remote set you. Alright, let's do this. Git remote set URL origin https://github.com. Oh, not original, origin. Alright, go here, git remote set URL origin. Okay, and now let's try to do git push u origin main again. See what it does. Oh, so instead of the remote, we're just gonna need to use our repository. I remember it to be 1983/nasa apod.git. I remember that from last time. That's our remote repository, github.com/ifreetheperfect1983/nasa apod.git. Alright, so now that's our repository. So let's try the push again. Git push u origin main. Alright, so now username. Alright, now our token. I think I had that copy, so I'm gonna paste it there. Alright, now it pushed. Or it said it pushed. So now if we go back into our repository, home, see our NASA apod. So now we have our first commit. It said 15 minutes ago because I had done that 15 minutes ago. I was stumbling around with the username, password, the token, personal access token. So that's why it was 15 minutes ago. So this, you can see all the codes that we've committed from last time when we worked on our apod model, everything that we worked on. And I wanted to also show you with let's say source tree. It's a popular UI tool, so I think we can also do that too. So now our NASA apod is version control. So now when we make any changes to it, we're going to be able to see it. But I just want to show that to you in your in a GUI also. So let me put our source tree here, drag and drop a folder. Let's see if that works. By the way, I haven't used this for a while, so hopefully that's how it works. We can double click onto it. Okay, nice, it works. So it kind of shows all the changes that we made here, and this was our commit that we made. So let's say we modify this. Let's say we modify this file. Okay, so we're gonna open up our Xcode project. Let's say we wanna add something to our content view. Let's say we want to make the error message, instead of red, let's call it yellow. So we're going to make this yellow. So now what Git does for us is there's a couple ways you can look at this. In command line, you can see Git status, which basically shows you which file was modified. So you can see that this this XC user state was modified and the content view.swift was modified. And also in source tree, let me see how we can look at this in source tree. Uncommitted changes. Okay. Oh, okay. So it seems like it's gonna go in reverse chronological order. So this is the uncommitted changes here. So we have a couple file that we saw. The XC user state file, it's a binary file, and here is the content view that we changed. So the red is the deletion, so it shows that it deleted the dot foreground style dot red, but instead it added a new line called dot for style dot yellow. So then when, let's say we want to commit that, there's a couple ways to do this. We can say how we can add it here. Not that familiar with the source tree UI, so I'm kind of just stumbling along also. Let's see, commit +2. Okay, so we can't really commit yet because I think we had to add it first. Actually, I think we can commit, but let's show the conventional way, which is to add it first before committing, because usually when you add it or when you stage it, it gives you a chance to kind of look at all the changes before you commit. Like, I mean, if you're really confident in your code, you can do a add and a commit in the same stage. So let me see this thing here. So we got the 2. We can say stage file. Oh, stage file. Let's say stage file. All right. So we stage the 2 file. Let's say now. So now we've staged the file. Let me see how. Okay, so if we click unstage file, it seems like we're gonna reset this, but we're not gonna do that. So let's say how we're gonna commit this thing. Oh, commit plus commit. All right. So now we're gonna say make a meaningful commit message. Change color. Change error color from red to yellow. All right, so we're gonna commit that. All right, so once we've committed, this is the thing that says change error color from red to yellow. Let's say we make another modification to our application. Let's say this time we started working on or we'll just make a comment. So this file is called apod, but here it's called capital APOD. Let's say we just minor change. We're just gonna call this apod.swift. So again, in source tree, we can look and we can see what was actually changed. Here's the uncommitted changes. This is the binary file again, and this is what was actually changed. The apod.swift became uppercase A, lowercase pod, but now this time I'm just going to show you how to add it in the terminal. So let's say git status again. So it shows us what was actually changed. So let's say git add. We can do git add dot, which basically stages everything, or if we want to add a specific file, we can do git add NASA apod /model /apod.swift. All right. So now we check git status again. So now only this was modified. Let's say we don't want to stage this or add this. So now we can look at git status again. All right, let's see. So we can verify that with our source tree. So with source tree, oh, we haven't committed. We committed this one, but we haven't committed this one. So let's say we want to go ahead and make a commit. So we can do git commit dash m, which is for message. Let's say we would say minor comment renaming. All right, that's our commit message. So it says 1 file change plus 1 insertion and 1 deletion, which is the file name. And in our commits, you can see here we have each commit is coordinated with a different commit hash. So in this way, let's say we want to go back to a previous version, like we can always do that. Let's say we make a bunch of changes, and let's say we found that all the changes we made caused a big bug or something, then we can always go back to a previous version. Like we can also do this with taggings. Like let's say there's a stable version, you want to tag like a version, then you can also roll back to a previous tag, but probably we won't go over that. So just to see our two commits, this one is the one where we say change error color from red to yellow, and this one says minor comment renaming. Let's say we can discard this. If we don't want to stage it, we can say discard file. All right, let's say we do that, and now we can, but now if we look at our repository, let's take a look at our repository right now. So now it still shows 23 minutes ago because the changes that we made haven't been pushed yet. So let's say we decide to push. We can also do the same thing here as before, which is git push let's see, I think it was git push u origin main. Like we can do that also, or if you want, you can also push that with your GUI, which is let's see how to push this thing. So here's two, looks like a push button sits here. You select your branch, say a push push main. All right. Oh, again with this thing. All right. So that, let's say password. Our password is the token. Let me copy and paste this. Oh, the token's still there, I hope. Okay. All right. Then hopefully that pushed. Okay. All right, let's refresh this, and then let's see. All right, so now we have 5 minutes ago and 3 minutes ago. So 5 minutes ago, we made a thing that change that says change error color from red to yellow. We can actually click into it, and we can see what changes were made. And also the same thing with the other file. We can click into this minor comment renaming, and we can see what changes were made. And let's I have a virtual machine. Let me see where my virtual machine is. All right, let's say we want to invite another developer to collaborate with us on our project. So let's say he uses Linux, for example. We can have a Kali Linux virtual machine on here. All right. Let's say we have a. So let's say we. Let me see if this has Git. So open our terminal. So this is my Kali Linux virtual machine. Let me put it on this side. Okay. Git version. Let's see. Oh, we do have Git on here. Oh, that's perfect. So, I thought I was gonna have to install it. So that's good. All right. So now we can just go to github.com. Let me sign in with my username and password. Okay. two-factor authentication. Touch your security key to continue with GitHub. All right. Wait, let's do a SMS code. All right. Okay, so let's say this is our partner developer person. So now he wants to clone my repository onto his machine, which is the Kali Linux. So let's say we're gonna clone this here. So we can either clone it with command line or we can clone it with some instructions that they have. Let's see, where's the cloning instructions. So right now we currently have one branch. It's called main. We can create a new branch also. Let's say we ask the other guy to work on a new branch. We can say new branch, or he can create another branch. And then he can create a pull request, which later we can merge. So let's say let's go into our repository again. Let me see how I thought normally they give a oh, here it is, the clone example. We can clone with HTTPS or clone with SSH. All right, let's just clone with this one. Copy to clipboard. Oh, it just gives the URL. We just have to say git clone on our terminal. Okay, let's go to our desktop. CD desktop ls. Oh, case sensitive. Yes. All right. So in our desktop right now, like we don't have any folders. Oh well, we have a couple things, but okay. So let's say git clone and our repository that we copied. Okay, which is that git clone. So now it's cloning. All right. Now let's see our desktop here. So now we have this project here. So let's say our dev friend wants to add a new Swift file. Or create a document. All right, create an empty file. We'll call it new file.swift. All right, so new file.swift is gonna be let's not do a Swift file. It's okay. Let's do a rename. So instead of new file.swift, we're just gonna call it new file.text. All right. This is a new text file. All right. So let's say we're writing this, and then so now we're gonna save. Let's just say save as new file.text. Okay. New file.text. Alright. So our Swift file is still there. Oh, here, let's just move to trash. Okay. So since git is installed, we can also do git status on here. Oh wait. We haven't changed into our folder yet. Git or cd NASA apod. All right. Now we can do git status to see what changed. So the new file was added. All right. So in this we can also do let's say git branch. So now we're on branch. Let's say we want to go to a new branch. So we can say git branch, let's say git branch feature 1. We'll call it feature 1. So now we're still on main, but we created a new branch called feature 1. Let's go back and see the command to actually switch the branch. Let's see. So the command to switch the branch would be git. Oh no, that's combine diverge branch. Let's see, branch. Switch branches. Git switch branch name or git checkout branch name. Checkout sounds good. Git checkout feature 1. Alright, now git branch again. So now the star, instead of it being on main, now it's on feature 1. So now let's say we make a push also. Git push u origin. So now instead of main, we can do feature 1. Alright, username again. Alright, password. Was my password already pasted? Let me try it. I don't think so though. I felt like, oh no, I copy and pasted the HTTPS. Hopefully it's still in there somewhere. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, so I'm back. Copy and pasted the message. So let me try. I mean the token. Alright, so the token's copy and pasted. Now we push the changes that we made, which is we added a new file onto a new branch called feature 1. So what we can do now is we can check our repository, NASA APOD repository. So now it says 2 branches. So now I have 2 branches. We have a feature 1 branch, which we push now. Yours feature 1. Okay. So now we had two features. I mean 2 different branches. So for example, if there was another person collaborating with us with their account, so instead of showing me, because right now I just have 1 account, so it just shows that I pushed the changes here. So let's say I make another change, another line added. Alright, so now I added another line, right? So we'll do git add dot just to add everything on here, and then we'll do git status, so we have a new file and then we do the same thing, git push u origin feature 1. Alright, oh again. Okay, and then the password one more time. Alright, oops. Okay, wait, oh I copied something else. Wait, invalid username. Let me try again. Git push u origin feature 1 username password. Alright, there we go. Oh, we added but we didn't commit. That's the thing we needed to do also. Git commit added another line in new file. Alright. So please tell me who you are. Okay, so we can say git config global user dot email. Let's say fan at if he we'll just do my original. Alright, so that's that, and then now we have to say username. So instead of my name, I'm just gonna put now let's go for another. Did the commit go through? I don't really remember. All right, let me do the commit again. Git commit. Okay, now we can do a push. Feature 1. Okay. Again. All right. Hopefully it's still in the clipboard. Okay, good. All right, so now we push that. We can check our repository again. So now we have 2 branches. You have your main and your feature 1. So your feature 1, you can see that now we added a couple things. We added another line in the new file. So we can see that here a new line was added. And so if you want, you can do compare and pull requests. So compare and pull requests. Basically, so right now, if you look in the main branch, the changes that we added were not integrated in the main branch yet. So the changes that our friend made here is still in still feature 1 branch. So now there's 2 branches, right? So look here, our developer friend, let's say we didn't give him access to main branch, so everything he does has to go through like a pull request, because we need to review his stuff first, make sure he didn't break anything. So all the things he's been doing is he's been committing to feature 1 branch. So now it's up for us to look into the main. So we can do compare and pull request. So then if we make a pull request, like added another line, feature 1 to be added. For example, this is our pull request, right? So now we create a pull request. So there's no conflict. So we can merge automatically, or we can review it first, or we can do it with a command line or with a GUI. So so now we're not gonna do anything. Like we can review it here, but we can also review it in our GUI or command line. So for example, right now let's look in our source tree again. So source tree, so now there's 2 branches. Let's see if we can refresh the branch somehow. Branch. Oh, okay, this is to create a new branch, delete a branch, check out new branch. Oh, we can check out a new branch. All right, let's see. Our branch was called feature 1. Wait, that would create a branch though. See, does that work? I mean, we can always change it here because I'm actually not that familiar with the source tree GUI. So let's say git branch. So now we're back on our Mac, and now we only have brand. Let's say git checkout feature 1. Okay, so now we're back. We're on feature 1. I mean, we don't have to, but we can always look at it. Let's say we want to review the changes here. Now we look at our source tree. So now we're on feature 1. We can kind of look at what changes they made. So they did. This is a new file. So they added new file.txt, and they said this is a new text file. Wait, what happened to our other commit, which is let's see, where's my VM? Another commit was another line added. Did this not get added? Let me see. Git status. Oh, it was modified, but it was never added. Git add dot git commit added another line in new file. Did that never get committed or never got pushed? Git push you origin feature 1. All right, let's say we push that now. Okay, gotta get the token again. Alright, so we set successful writing objects total to here. Feature 1's up to date. Okay. Alright, so it's clean. Your branch is up to date. Alright. Let's make sure that that's up to date here. 2 branches. Feature, it was updated now. Okay. Added another line in new file 1 minute ago. Okay, so another line added. Alright, so we have a pull request. So here in our source tree, I mean we can fetch the changes. Or you can do git fetch on terminal. There's a lot of ways you can do it. Like, sorry, I'm kind of jumping back and forth between terminal and the GUI. But here you can see that another line was added, but everything here is in so we can pull it to so it actually goes on our so once we pull it, it basically pulls the changes onto the feature 1. So I just want to show you this. Like, for example, now we're on the feature 1 branch, right? And look at our project here. Our NASA A pod, it has a new file .text. Okay, but let's say I switch the branch over to main branch, right? So now we're back in main branch, but now look at our new file is gone. So it's depends on what branch you're on. So let's say I switch back to feature 1, the new file .text is back. Actually, let me just put it right here so you can see it happening in real time. Or not really real time, but sure. Main is gone. Or I can do it with command line. Alright. Again, what branch are we on now? I forgot. We kept switching back and forth. Git branch. Now we're on main. Let's say we go git checkout feature 1. So now that new file's here. So now we're on the branch feature 1. So now let's say we want to switch back to main. So now we're on main and we don't have that. So there's a merge. I mean, there's a pull request to add this feature 1 file onto our project. So let's say we do decide to accept it, and then when we do want to merge feature 1 onto main. So there's also a command. Let's go back to here. It's called merge. Git merge banana. So it seems like it's gonna merge the banana is the branch name in this case. So it's gonna merge the banana branch onto our main branch. So what we had to do is we had to switch on to our main branch first, and then we do the merge command. So it's gonna merge whatever changes they are into our main commands. Because right now in our project, we have our main project. Let's say that's the main one, and let's say we're developing a bunch of new features to be added. So feature 1, feature 2, feature 3. Let's say feature 1's ready to go. We're ready to merge this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch back onto main. Git checkout main. Okay, and then we're gonna say git merge, and then git merge like this, and then the branch name. But instead of banana 1, now it's gonna be feature 1. So git merge feature 1, and then so now what's gonna happen is, let's say git feature, not git feature 1, git branch, because we know what feature 1 branch look like. So git branch feature 1. Oh, not git branch, sorry, git checkout, just to see feature 1. Git checkout. Oh, actually, you know what, that's actually doesn't demonstrate quite as good as what we had before. So now you see the new file here, and then we see, like, we can check out the NASA A pod folder. So we'll do cd NASA A pod, So then when we do a ls to look inside, there's a new file.txt, and then we can check git branch. So now we see that we're on main, and now the new files already in our main. So we can delete the feature one branch right after this, and we can also push the main onto our remote, which is on GitHub. Because right now we merged it, it's in our local machine, but we haven't pushed it up yet. Because look, if we go here, if we do, if we go to our repository, then we look at our main branch, things are still, changes are from like 41 minutes ago, 39 minutes ago, an hour ago, right? But let's say we push this up. Now I'm pushing with the command line. Not command line, sorry, with the GUI. So there's a push button here. So we're pushing the main branch. All right, let's do a push. So now we're pushing our main branch. So let's go back to here and then go check out our repository again. So now we see the changes from 6 minutes ago were pushed. And we still have the feature one branch. I mean, we can delete the branch, but we probably should. So NASA apod, and then we see the new file.txt here, which got integrated into our main branch. Let's see what other cool things we can do in Git. So we did git merge, git add, we did so many commands. Let me see what other changes we could or should do. Git log, show you a log. Git reset head. There's git commit amend if you want to rename your commit message. Git push force. So different kind of push. I mean, but there's git pull. We didn't really use the command, but we used the GUI for this. Like, so for example, if let's go back to our virtual machine again. All right, so now let's say we want to check out, let's say we want to go back to main, right, on our Linux machine. So right now we're on the feature one branch. Let's say we do git check out main. So now we're on the main branch again, and now we're looking at the main branch, but we don't have that new file, but we don't have that new file.txt. So let's say we do a git pull. So now when we do a git pull, you see the changes, pull the new file right onto our main branch. So that's git pull. Let's see what other things we should talk about in this git video. Config username, you saw that briefly. Set the options globally. Git fetch origin main. Okay, we saw fetch with GUI. We can also fetch it with command line. Yeah, so most of these things you can do both in either command line or in GUI, but sometimes the command lines can be a little bit limited. Like, I wasn't familiar with this GUI, but it seems very easy to use because you have different features. Let's see if we can even delete this branch from here. Delete feature one, do force delete remote branch. All right, so let's say we do a delete like that. Okay, so it deleted that branch. Let's see if it's gone from our repository too. All right, let's see. NASA apod repository. Let's see where are the branches. Okay, so now there's only one branch. Now there's only the main branch. I guess, well, okay, so it's pretty powerful. It can do a lot of stuff. All right, so we looked at most of these things. We looked at commit, we looked at pull, we looked at push, we looked at fetch, we looked at branch, we looked at merge. I guess the only thing we haven't looked at here in this UI is the stash. So stash, what it does is, let's say you have some code changes and you have to context switch or something. Let's say in your new file you want to say making another change. So for example, I'm making another change, and then in here you have some uncommitted changes right over here, and then let's say there's an urgent bug that was found, and it's like, oh, you gotta fix some bugs right away. So what you can do is you can stash the uncommitted changes here, so you're not like staging it or committing it or pushing it or anything. So stash message, you can say working, what was typed there, let's see, making another change. Okay, working on change 3, we'll just call this change 3, or making another change 3. So in the stash you can say working on change 3, and then we'll just say stash. So now that line is gone from here because it got stashed. But later on, let's say you're done with the bug fixing and you're ready to apply your stash, then you can just you can look at your stashes. So you have here on the main branch, you extend this, it says working on change 3. So let's say you can either delete the stash, let's say you don't need that anymore, you can apply stash. So when you apply stash, are you sure you want to apply the stash on main? You can delete after applying. Let's okay, sure, let's just say okay without deleting. Applying stash, git no option log stash not stage for commit. Okay, close. So we have our uncommitted. Oh, okay, wait, you know what, let's ignore this for now. Unstage file, discard file. Okay, so before it detected a change in another file, that's why it had some issues applying the stash. Okay, let's do it again. Let's click on the stash that we did, and then now we do apply stash. So now it's applying the uncommitted changes that we had before, which is I'm making another change 3. So when you look at it now you can see the changes that were made here. And also I want to mention that the stash can also be applied to file on a different branch. So we have this working on change 3. Let's say we decide to create a new branch. Let's say branch, we're gonna check out branch 3. So we're gonna create a new branch called feature 3. So now we're on feature 3, and then let's say we want to apply this to here. But okay, this XC user state is popping up again. So what XC user state is, so it's created automatically by Xcode. So it's like basically your cursor placement, your layout, your open tabs, your window sizes, and breakpoints, and all of these. So you never want to commit these, but it tracks its changes. So this okay, so this is actually good because I can show you something new also. So for like, okay, the main point of this was to apply this stash to feature 3, right? So let's see if we can do this now. So we're probably gonna get an error. Wait, did it apply? It didn't. Wait, did it actually apply? Hold on, because we don't want to commit this, right? All right, let's see. All right, so this .xc user state is something that we want to ignore. So what we can do is we can actually add a git ignore, because what git ignore does is it's gonna have some selected files that you don't want Git to commit. So for example, like some like these, like the .xc user state, that it tracks changes like to every single thing and you don't need to commit. So for example, you have some sensitive files that you don't want to commit, So what we can do here, since we have some sensitive files that we don't want to commit, or some constantly changing files, like for example in this case XC user state that we don't want to commit, we can create a git ignore file. So now in our terminal, let's say we have that, we can create just a simple text file. So when we created our project, we didn't check on to create a git ignore file on GitHub, but we can easily create that. So we can say touch git ignore. So okay, so that created our git ignore file. We can see that here. So now we can edit the git ignore file. Let's say we do it with nano. Let's say we do with nano.git ignore. All right, so we can add a .xc user state. So star.xc user state is gonna ignore everything that is has a .xc user state at the end. So we're just gonna do Control O to write out, and we're gonna write it to git ignore. Yes, wrote one line. Okay, now we exit the text editor. And now what we need to do is, since I think we committed it like one time, so we're gonna need to just remove the old version, because since it already started tracking it, if we don't remove it, it's going to keep tracking the changes. So now we do git remove --cache star.xc user state. Wait, are we in that repository again? I thought we were. So if that's the case, and then we're gonna do git add .git ignore, because that's the changes that we made, and then we're just gonna make a commit, git commit -m stop tracking xc user state. All right, so then we did that, and now we can wait, let me see, what branch am I on? Feature 3. Oh, we were gonna add the stash to that. All right, let's just push it in the, we should have been in main. We could have used a stash for this. That's so funny. All right, let's just commit it and merge it onto main. So git push no upstream branch, git push u origin feature 3. All right, so that should push the changes to feature 3, and then we're just gonna merge it onto our main. So for example, right now feature 3, you see the changes, we added a .git ignore file, and in our .git ignore file we have this, so we're just gonna merge it onto our main branch. So we're gonna switch, and then so we had some, and then we're just gonna do a merge on here. Let's see, we merge. Wait, I think we need to do this, because I think last time we merged from command line. We'll try to merge from GUI this time. Let's see how that works. I'm on main 3 and I want to merge from feature 3. I mean, I'm on main and I want to merge from feature. Okay, so now my main has stopped tracking XC user state. So now we're going to push that to our remote repository. So now if we go back to feature 3, hopefully the .xc all the changes now will not include the .xc user state. So let's see if we can apply this easily. So apply the stash. Let's say apply stash. Oh, we still can't, because it previously tracked our .xc user state. So we need to actually remove the XC user state. Let me see where that file is, so we can remove it from tracking. I think we can do that with command line though. I thought we had done that. So git remove cached exe user state. No match is found. Let me quickly Google this and see how we can do this. Alright, quickly Google this. No match is found. The error occurred because GitHub does not accept account. No, that was the previous thing. That happened because attempt to use expanded wildcard. Run with a single quote around the wildcard. Alright, let's give that a try. Let's put a quote around the wildcard. Let's see if they actually put that around the wildcard. Okay, let's go. Alright, I think that works. And then, so we removed it. Now we did that in feature 3. We should have done that in main too. Alright, we're gonna go back to main and do that also. Actually, let's apply the stash in feature 3 first. So feature 3, we see some uncommitted changes here. Okay, so I had proceeded to record the previous segment with no audio. So basically what I did previously was just showed you how to add the gitignore file. So we basically added the gitignore to ignore the .md file and the .pasd file. But this is another cool feature of Git. So for example, if I wanted to show you again, since the audio was cut out in the previous feature, I can let's say I'm still on main, right? Alright, let's remove feature 3 right now. Just let's say we don't care about this thing. Let's say the feature was done. Let's just remove feature 3 so we can just focus on the main branch. And here, let's say we're looking for a commit that we want to go to. Let's say I want to remove all the gitignore and everything we changed. So let's say I'm okay with here, and then I don't want to add these yet. Let's say I want to move, I want to delete all these other ones, and I want to move the head of my main to here. So let's see if there's a bait thing here. Let me I'll just do this with command line, because here you can also do, let me make sure what branch I'm on first. Git branch. So I'm on main, right? So we can do git reset and then hard, and then our commit that we want to go back to. Let's say a new file. Let's say the commit. CF74683. Alright, so we'll go there. Git reset hard CF74683. Alright, so now head is here. So now the head is here at CF74683, and let's say we want to push this, so the rest would be gone. But since we've already pushed this to our remote repository, we're gonna need to do a force push. So now we're gonna do git push origin main, but then we need this -- force. So what that does is it's gonna ignore all the other commits that happened after, and it's gonna force the push. So now if we refresh this, you can see that this is now the head of ours. This is the head of our commit or our branch, and we do have some uncommitted changes here. We have a new file .md, we have a pasd.md, and we have a new file 2.md. We can ignore these, and I can just start from beginning. Okay, so I wasn't actually gonna show you this, but I was kind of glad that we had that audio accident. So now you saw that there's also a way to go back in time. I mean, there's other way that's more safe also, because this way it's just like fast and dirty, just to get back here and ignore all the other commits. Because there's other ways, like for example, creating a new branch and then just checking out a specific commit and going off to there and doing things a little more safe. But this is just for the sake of simplicity. So because I just wanted to show you the git ignore, because we already did the git ignore. I think let me see if that git ignore got removed also. Okay, so the .git ignore is still there. So I wanted to show you with nano .git ignore. All right. So now we have only the star.exe user state. I was gonna show you that when we do a star.md, and let me save this. So I saved it, exited. So now let's say we want to add a new file into our repository, right? Let's say we add new file 1.md, and then we show a list. So now we have a new file 1.md, and then let's say we also add new file 2.md, and then we add a new file 1.asdf, for example. So now if we look at the list, we have 3 new files that we added: new file 1.md, new file 2.md, and new file 1.asdf. But when we do a git status to see the changes, so we only see the .asdf, because the new git ignore is telling us that to ignore all the .md files. And so now let's say we want to add another one, like called git asdf or something. So I mean to the git ignore file. So let's go back to use our nano editor .git ignore. So let's say now we want to also ignore the .asdf file. So I'm gonna write and then save. Okay. So now git status. So now the .asdf is also not staged, because now it's showing that, well, let's see our main right now. Well, nothing is staged, because the only thing that changed is, wait, it's in our origin. Because the only thing that changed right now is our git ignore. So we can do git add git commit add updated git ignore. Alright, so let's say git push u origin main. Okay, so now we see, let's look in our remote repository. So now we have this. So updated just now, we updated the git ignore to include the star.md and the star.asdf. So any file extension ending in exe user state, md, or asdf will be ignored. So you saw that none of those got pushed. So now we look at our source tree. I'm just wondering why the new why the new branches didn't update. Is there do we need to like fetch it and pull it or something? Let's see. Commit. What is this +1 commit? Origin. Oh, let's see. Let's go to our main. Check out. A branch named main already exists. Okay. I'm just trying to see how we can do this. Oh, here it is. Updated the .git ignore. So we have that. Okay, I guess we had to fetch and pull to see this update. But all right, so kind of a long tutorial, but got to show you some git ignore and some force push at the end to go back to previous commits. So thank you for sticking with me until the end if you're able to make it this far, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.